and educative. And we have on the call Mr. Tonye. I believe he is well prepared for us. Last month we talked about advanced chat GPT, and today we'll be continuing with that as well, with advanced chat GPT. So without further waste of time, I will be asking our trainer to just start immediately. Thank you, sir, for joining us. You can take it up from here.
Good afternoon, good morning, everybody. I'm so happy to be on here. There's this joy I get anytime I'm talking about AI. My name is Tonye, as most of you know. I'm the convener of Transcend Nigeria. I've been called different names, but the most popular name everybody calls me is AI Evangelist. I'm a strong believer in the power of AI and the benefit it bring for mankind as a whole. I want to confirm, can everybody see my screen? Hello?
It's not yet visible.
So you cannot see my face?
I can see your face, but I can see your face. I can see your video.
1 minute, please. I'm trying to share my screen. So
Okay.
what's going on again like this? Will I say this is the work of my enemies or my village people? Okay, can you see my... Okay, oh, sorry, my badge. Okay, now, I guess you can all see my screen now.
Yes, it's coming up.
How about now?
We can see your screen. We are seeing your Gmail very well. AI Business Analyst. Thank you. Please, can you make it in presentation mode?
Yes, I have. I've done that.
Thank you so much.
How about now? Is it better
That's
now?
okay.
Can you also see my screen now?
Yes, better. Yes,
okay,
it's visible.
Okay. So let's deep dive. First of all, the first thing I'll ask for everybody right now is I want you to come in here with an open mind. I want you to assume that you don't know so much and then you just want to open your mind and learn new things. I don't want you to have the belief that, oh, I have this before, I know that before. Just come with an open mind and just be willing to accept new information and be willing to learn new things. So, as we all know what ChatGPT is the AI tool that was released by OpenAI. ChatGPT alone became the fastest growing application in history. In 1 month, they clocked 100 million users. That is faster than what anybody has ever done. It took Facebook close to 7 years to get to 100 million users. What it took other companies close to 5-10 years to do, ChatGPT did in less than 1 month. Why is that so? Because ChatGPT is very, very useful. And the beautiful thing about ChatGPT is that the ChatGPT that clocked 100 million users was ChatGPT 3.5 and ChatGPT 4. Right now, we are ChatGPT 5. We have the agent mode, we have operator, we have a whole lot of things. But right now, the question to ask ourselves is this. Yes, it is fun to use ChatGPT to do those seemingly mundane tasks. Help me write a mail, help me do this, help me do that. But it's imperative that you understand that there's more that you can use ChatGPT to do than just to do those mundane things. You can literally use it to organize your life and set your life in motion. And I'm very big on small businesses. That is because essentially I'm a capitalist. I believe so much in capitalism. I believe in private ownership of businesses. And I understand the importance and the power that AI has. Case studies, ChatGPT, on how we can use to grow small businesses. That's why today I'm very excited to be here for us to talk about how we can use ChatGPT to scale your small business. So let us say, for example, right now, you have a small business. Maybe you sell air online, you probably sell food items online, or just think about anything. Just think about literally anything. Yes, you have a vision, you have an idea, you like to do this thing, and then you feel like I can make a business with it. First things first, I would like to recommend and advise that once you want to start your small business, I would recommend that you register your business with the CSC. Even if at first you can register a small business, you can start first by registering a business name. That shows that you're a serious business owner, and it begins to give your business a life and a brand of its own. That's important. Please bear that in mind. And you can also use AI to do that. So let's say, right, as I said earlier, you're a small business owner, maybe you sell air, you're a lady, you sell air, you're a man, you say, okay, I'm a web designer, I can do these things, or probably it just can be anything. So the question to ask yourself is, oh yes, how can I use ChatGPT to scale my business? How can I use ChatGPT to make my business much more effective and much more um and profitable? You must understand that as a small business owner, you don't have access to the funds on the pool of the pool of liquidity that the bigger guys in the business have. A good example is, let's just say, for example, you want to start selling jewelry. You understand that as a small business owner, you that just started, probably you're beginning to start your business with 100,000. You cannot compete with the people that have been in the business for years. Those women that sell at the Lagos Island market, that sell in Balogun, that sell in Tejo Show, you cannot compete with them. If they are saying they are doing ads, if they are saying they are doing plans for their businesses that is costing them into millions, you cannot do that because you just started. But the beautiful thing is now we have AI, and AI is the greatest leveler that humanity has ever had. So you have to learn how to use this ChatGPT to grow your small business. So that's why we're here today. So let's deep dive. So as we said, this advanced ChatGPT for small businesses, you have to master AI tools that save time, cut costs, and scale your business. Scaling is the most important thing for a small business. How do you grow your business? How do you take it from point zero that you started and you move it up? How are we going to do that? Stay tuned. Let's learn. Now, as I said earlier, the AI awakening is here. AI is here. We can't hide it anymore. The world has changed. Ever since ChatGPT came out in November 2022, the whole universe has changed. The whole way we do world has the whole way we do business has changed. Because right now we have a tool that does not sleep, that does not tell you that sir, my salary is too much, it's too small. Sir, the fuel price has gone up. You have to increase my salary. They do not tell you that tomorrow, sir, I'm not feeling fine. My stomach is paining me. Because of that, I cannot come to work. Sir, my grandmother died. I have to go for burial. And sir, my landlord locked the gate. It gives you no excuses. All you have to do is ensure you have power and you have connection to your tool and it delivers. So how are you going to use this tool to better your business? And last but not the least, it works 24/7. The beautiful thing about AI tools right now is that you just give it things, just tell you what you want to do. And you can now do other things. You come back, it gives you the work, what you want to do. A good example is, if most of you have heard of this tool they call Manus. Manus is like the new prototype of what we call AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. You can assign tasks to Manus, close your laptop, and go and do other things, and you come back and you do the tasks that Manus has done for you. It is beautiful. So the question is, how do you use these tools for your small business? So these are the one of the three roles that you can use AI in a small business. First of all, as an assistant. Second of all, as an advisor. And third of all, as what? As a strategist. Remember that we said, what are we using this? What's the whole essence of our class today? Is to scale our business, is to cut costs, and to manage time. Now, as your assistant, using AI using ChatGPT as your assistant helps you to do what? To manage time. There's a very high chance as a small business owner, you're a person that is entrepreneurial. You probably have a regular 9 to 5 job that takes your time, but you believe that no, there's more to life than kindly find, attach, and build theory fast. And you say, okay, I want to start my own business on the side. But because at the same time, as I said earlier, you're just starting the business, you don't have enough funds to say you want to hire somebody. You don't have enough funds to say you want to hire a storekeeper. You don't have enough funds to say you want to hire a PA. This is where AI comes into place. That's where we have AI as your assistant to do what? To save you on time. The next thing as your advisor, don't forget we see we're trying to scale. Don't forget we're trying to cut costs. Right now in the world right now, for you to get a top-notch consultant that will give you ideas, plans that are tailored, that are suited to your business, it will cost you a whole lot of money. Because why? The consultant is not going to do it for free. Because basically you're taking his knowledge, and that knowledge that's given to you, he paid for it with his time, with his money, and with his life. But the beautiful thing right now is with ChatGPT, you can shortcut all of that and get that knowledge. You know why? Because ChatGPT was trained on all of the knowledge of all consultants in the world. ChatGPT is wiser. ChatGPT is much more knowledgeable than any supposed consultant in the world today. In fact, as of today, the biggest consultant in the world, the biggest consultant companies, the McKinseys, the Gartners, the BCGs, they are understanding that ChatGPT is their replacement. So they are beginning to understand, they are beginning to accept how they can align with ChatGPT and AI to make themselves more relevant. So how much more you, a small business owner? And last but not the least, your strategist. You see, as a small business owner, it is easy to get caught up in the day-to-day running. Oh, I have to get this customer. Oh, I have to chase that customer. Oh, I have to buy this. I have to do this. How am I going to get LinkedIn, in my Facebook when I'm running? How am I going to get my Facebook ads? How am I going to be on TikTok? How am I going to be here? Oh, this customer wants this. Oh, this customer wants that. And then you forget that you are not just doing this low-level work. You have to go raise your head up and look into the future and make long-range plans. That's where ChatGPT comes in to serve as a strategist to assist you with what? With scaling. Because he has knowledge that you don't have. So you can explain to it, make it your personal assistant, make it your advisor, your strategist, and then he begins to help you scale, set timelines that okay, we have done this, we have done this, we have done this, this is where we should be. So you can check it at all times. So I want us to understand these three important roles as a small business owner. What is it? AI as your assistant, as your advisor, and as your strategist. So please bear these three things in mind. As I said earlier, so we're coming back again at why exactly do you even need ChatGPT for small businesses? Like why? I've said most of this in passing earlier. For what? Limited resources. You're a small business. If push comes to shove at most, even if yes, you can raise even a million naira, you cannot match the biggest guys in your industry. You cannot stand with them. Let's say, for example, you say you're a fish farmer, or you say you sell food stuff, or you say you sell items online. You cannot match the people that have been in the industry before you. Why? Because you're just getting into the industry. There are people that have been there before you were born. So do you think you can match them for budget for budget? Do you think you can match them for cost for cost? You cannot do that. That's where ChatGPT comes into play. The AI advantage. ChatGPT is on 247. If you pick up your phone at 2 a.m. and you have an idea in your head, you think that, oh, I thought about this idea. If you pick up your laptop or you pick up your phone and you open your ChatGPT and tell it, I thought about XYZ. What do you think? It will answer you. But if you call a McKinsey consultant at 2:30 a.m. and say, Oga consultant, I just thought now, instead of selling catfish, can I also sell cooker? It will tell your guy, have a life, leave me alone. That is how life is. It's not his fault. He's a human being too. He has to rest. Because after all, we all have 8 hours to rest. He has to rest. Don't forget that. And last but not the least, instant scaling. The beauty, once again, of AI is the ability to scale rapidly. We see OpenAI, the way OpenAI is scaling rapidly. Why? Because OpenAI themselves are using ChatGPT to fine-tune the operations. The beautiful thing about how to use AI to scale is like NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the bedrock of the whole AI infrastructure. NVIDIA makes the chips that they use to run the AI programs on it. The beautiful thing is that when NVIDIA makes the chips, NVIDIA now uses the AI that they have in-house to basically fine-tune and verify what they did, to fact-check it to see where are the problems we have in this our design. And then based on that, these were things that would have taken human beings 3-6 months to do. Because as a human being, you have to review each file, each this, each that. They don't give the whole thing to the AI and refuse everything immediately. So the turnaround time that NVIDIA has is faster than their competitors. They leave their competitors in the dust. So how much more you a small business? You can scale instantly if you know how to use this tool for yourself. AI doesn't replace people, it replaces inefficiencies. That's the ultimate truth. And AI is much more efficient than a human being. A human being is inefficient. A human being has problems, makes mistakes, is flesh and blood. But AI wants to tell you, this is what I want you to do. This is where you are going. It will get there for you. It is extremely efficient and effective at a very, very costly rate, not so expensive. So now that let us deep dive into it. I think I've given you all an idea of what we are here for and the reason why we have to do what we're doing today. Does anybody have any questions before we begin to deep dive? Hello, can you all hear me?
Loud and
Hello.
clear. Yes,
Does
please.
anybody have any questions before we deep dive? Does anybody have any feedback, any things to say before we continue? Okay, I will take that as a no. So right now we're going to look into three things today beyond the basic ChatGPT. I'm very sure at this point in time, everybody on this call right now knows what ChatGPT is. I know we've used it a couple of times to help us write mails in the office, help us write messages, help us do this. But the beautiful thing, there's more to that than those. Then there's more to using ChatGPT than that. So let us begin to look into these three things. And today I want to talk about prompt engineering, context retention, and systemic thinking. And before we go into that, I'll just give us a small overview of what we're talking about. Right now, most of you know that when you open your ChatGPT and you want to type a message to it, and you tell it, write me a mail to do so and so, or write me a birthday message to send to somebody, or write me a response to this mail. That message you are giving it is called a prompt, because what an AI system is that you've taken a neural network that's like a digital brain, and we've trained it on vast amounts of information across the internet. And then we've now turned it to like a chatbot style that you respond to it. So that message you are giving it is a prompt. You're basically prompting, or you're prodding it towards the direction, saying, yes, I know you have this vast amount of information. But out of that vast amount of information, I want you to move towards this side. That's where I want information from. So that's those messages I give you to say, I want you to do X, Y, Z. It's called a prompt. Now, prompt engineering is a beautiful field on its own, because prompt engineering is how you get to give the AI instructions that are suited to your intentions. You know, just like a human being, you can tell somebody, go to that gate. Go to that gate. It's a message, but at the same time, it's not a very, very clear message. So when I go to that, what should I do? Should I stand? Should I sit? Should I lie down? Should I go out of the gate? Should I stand by the gate? Should I go back in? You understand me? But when I give a better instruction saying, go to that gate, stand at the gate, look for a man in red. When he comes, collect the item from him, pay him, and come back inside. You realize that those are two different instructions. So I want you to bear that in mind. The next thing we'll talk about is context retention. What is context? As we all know as human beings, context is very important to us as human beings. You know that the same way you can tell somebody, shut up, and the person doesn't get offended. You may tell the same person, shut up, in a different context and situation. It causes a very big issue. So as much as, so we must understand context too. So as context is important to human beings, so context is also important to AIs and ChatGPT. So as a small business owner, how are you going to use this context to push your own goals to better your own business? As I said earlier, talk about prompting. You know, okay, now you have told the AI, go to the gate, stand at the gate, do this. But there has to be a context in which you are giving that instruction. Bear that in mind. Don't forget that. Then last but not least is systemic thinking. How do you think? You must begin to think as a small business owner within systems. You must begin to see that, okay, what I'm doing, how does it fit into the larger industry in which I am, into the larger society in which I am? And as a human being, it's not so easy to think systemically, because you're a human being, you're flesh and blood. There are so many things you might not take into context before you're making your decisions. Let's say, for example, right now, a good example is what happened yesterday. Yesterday, the federal government, through the president, signed, approved the 15% levy on imported petroleum prices. Let us say, for example, right now, you're a person that is saying that, okay, you have a space in front of your house and you're thinking that, okay, no problem. Even if I cannot sell, what do you call this thing, fuel and all, at least I can have a car park here. I can have a place where maybe drivers come and I can sell spare parts. I can have a place where I can sell engine oil and things like that. You understand that when you're making out your plans, you are not aware of what the federal government wants to do. Right now, federal government has made their plans. If you do not take into consideration what the effect of that levy have in your business, 6 months down the line, your business begins to have issues. But if you learn to understand how to use ChatGPT to think systematically for your business, to begin to factor in all those variables that you as a person won't even think about, won't even have thought about. That's the beauty. So I want us from today as small business owners to begin to look at how to use ChatGPT in these three areas. Prompt engineering, how do you prompt the AI, ChatGPT in particular right now, to give information that relates to your business. You know, the beauty thing about AI and ChatGPT is it can give you generic responses that are not suited to your business, to your personality, to what you want to do. Context extension. How are you giving it? In what context? In what dynamic are you giving it instructions? to give you back information. And systems thinking, how are you making it think about your business as a system, not just I'm buying and selling. Let's go on to the next slide. So let us talk about prompt engineering. As you can see right now, on the left-hand side, we have the before. This is what most of us always do. Write me a post, explain this concept, and give me ideas. Those are very, very generic and open-ended responses. It is extremely open-ended. It is my one of the words I like to use to explain prompts like this. It is vague. Imagine somebody stops you today. Imagine one of your customers, maybe let's say you sell jewelry online, and a customer just comes and says, Madam, give me jewelry. You understand that that's a very vague request. Like you're saying, what jewelry? What do you want? Is it gold? Is it silver? Is it for a man or for a woman? Is it for a boy or for a girl? What's the age range? What are you celebrating? You understand that these are more information that you would need to make that request possible. So let us now begin to see that we say, okay, how am I going to be prompting these things? Okay, before we go on, I would like most of us to do something like, as a small business owner, I would advise you to all have ChatGPT on your phone or your laptop. And then I would advise you to also open a new project. ChatGPT has a new feature right now that's called project. So open a new project, and then you give it the following prompts. You are to serve as my assistant, strategist, and advisor to me as I set up my new business. If you tell it the name of your business. So you see that prompt you're giving it context, you're giving it ideas, and you're grounding it. So it's based on that, whatever response it begins to give you after that is going to be suited to your business. Businesses differ, and businesses follow the personality of the business owners. We can take two same businesses in the same industry, and because they have different personalities, the guide that business A we have won't be the guide that business B we have. The strategies, the plans that business A we have won't be what business B we have, because the human being that will implement these strategies are two different people. So you must always bear this in mind. Please don't forget. So on the after side, we begin to see how we modify prompts to give our AI, to give our ChatGPT and AI, our AI advisor. You can see it saying, design a 3-month marketing plan. Okay, you've decided right now that, okay, you've thought about it, you've reviewed your strengths, you've reviewed your weaknesses, you've seen that, okay, I think I have these connections. I think I'm able to get connections to my village to bring, let's say, palm oil to Lagos. Wonderful idea. Great. But the question is not just those people and not say, okay, I have connections in my village. I have a shop, the outlet here. I have a couple of people I can talk to sell palm oil to them. Yes, beautiful. But you need to have this idea structured. How are you going to structure in such a way that on those days when it's not so easy to implement your plans, you have something that keeps you grounded. That's why I see those, you say that's why in the after, I see those prompts. You say, design a 3-month marketing plan for my business. Then based on all the information you are giving ChatGPT before, it designs something that is suited to you, to your business. Imagine right now, you can't tell you just design me, write a marketing plan. Just give me something generic now. You can give a marketing plan for a tech company, you can give a marketing plan for a laundry company that is suited to them. But you must tailor your response, your request to it to suit your business. Begin to see, we can see the second thing saying, summarize and recommend the next steps. Okay, we have done this. What are we going to do next? The example I like to give is, let's say, for example, I want us to, let's say, start from all the beginning. You've decided right now that I want to register a business. You want to start a business. Beautiful. You've gone to ChatGPT, you've opened a new project. You've told it the following prompt. You are to serve as my strategist, advisor, and assistant in the setup of my business. Then you tell it, I want to start a business selling palm oil, and I want you to recommend names for me. Give me 3 names. It gives you the names. You take the name, you go to register your business. You come back. You tell it, can you create a 3-month marketing plan for me? It gives you the information, you act on it. And you tell it, what is the next step? What are we going to do next? So it begins to list these things step by step. I can follow it. The beautiful thing I've learned about using ChatGPT in particular, using AI and ChatGPT in particular, that you discover, most of whom is quite shocking, that the problem in life is not the fact that you cannot dream. It's the fact that most of us lack discipline to execute. You see, once you learn how to use ChatGPT to do the heavy thinking, to do the heavy load, to do this, the planning and all, you now realize that, you see that implementation, the carrying out of the task itself, that's where the problem usually lies. But we'll come to that later. But right now, we must understand how to use ChatGPT to think, to do this planning. So right now we have done this. What should we do next? List it for me. Then you can see the third prompt we have here. Build a complete customer journey. You must understand that customer experience is the soul of small businesses. Unlike, I like to give example. Use examples to buttress my points. If all of us remember during the Naira redesign, if all of us remember that during that period, the big banks, the established banks, were a tad laid back. They are not so particular about the customer experience. If you go and meet them, you say no cash. If you transfer and there are issues, they'll tell you there's nothing you can do. Go back in 7 days' time. But it was in that period that the OPays of this world, the PalmPays, broke in and took over market share. Do you know why? Because they built a complete customer experience. They understood that as a small business, they don't have the numbers to be able to tell people that we don't care about you. It is the customer experience of your customers that they can tell their other friends and say, I used OP yesterday, it worked for me. Now, as a small business owner, it might be difficult for you to conceptualize and visualize how to make the customer experience journey for you work. But if you understand how to use ChatGPT, you can tell it, build for me a complete customer experience journey. How will I relate to my customers? If a customer comes to my business today, how do I relate to you to make it come back later? So it becomes a repeat customer and it becomes an unpaid advertiser for my business. So I hope that as we are having this conversation, we are beginning to think and have this image in your head of how you can use ChatGPT to make your business better as a small business owner. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Proceed to the next slide right now. So let us talk right now the 5 core business applications that we can use ChatGPT for as a small business owner. The first, as you can see, is marketing and sales. I spoke about marketing and sales, strategy and innovation, finance and planning, operations, and customer engagement. See, these are the core of a business, both large and small. And in big businesses, you see these 5 areas I listed here are places where they have senior people in charge. They have teams of 10s, 20s, 30s, 100s. But a small business owner, you cannot afford this. But you can use ChatGPT to reach the same goals. See, the same goals that people take 10 years to learn. Because ChatGPT has learned all this information from the internet. You can tap into that knowledge to make your business worthwhile. Let's start with marketing and sales. Okay, so you're a small business owner. How are you going to put your business out there? How are you going to put your business in the face of your prospective customers? Yes, all of us know, and do Facebook ads, and do TikTok ads, and do sponsored ads. But sponsored ads those are saying, I'm hungry, go and eat. What am I going to eat? How am I going to eat it? How am I going to cook it? What are the steps I'm going to take there? That's where ChatGPT comes into play. You're a small business owner. You decided right now that, okay, I want to start selling thrift online. I've discovered that I stay on the mainland. I've discovered that my house is not far from Abule Egba. I've discovered that I have a knack for picking good things. I've discovered that when I go to the market and I pick items and I come back, people are usually interested in what I bring for them. You discover that skill about yourself. But the question to ask is, how will I now put my skill and this my product in front of more people? Okay, and you think, okay, let me do sponsored ads. But the question to ask is, sponsored ad is not as straightforward as that. There are so many intricacies in it. Who's your ideal customer? Who is your target audience? Who will buy from you? Where are they? How will you reach them? I can't get across to them. And you don't just to reach them. How can you coax your message? How can you write your message in such a way that they will say, okay, I can buy from this person? All of these I've listed to you right now, as seemingly short as they are really, really insightful things that you need for your small business. And that's where ChatGPT comes into play. So you decided right now that you want to start selling thrift. You decided right now that, okay, I've been saving money. I've saved, let's say, ₦1 million. But I discovered that I can use my ₦1 million, even though it looks big. It's not a lot of money. From that 1 million, you're going to buy your goods. From that 1 million, you're going to maintain operational floats. From that 1 million, you do sponsored ads. So every kobo must count. Every kobo must provide value back to you as the owner of the business. That is where ChatGPT comes into play. So you go and tell it, oh, I have discovered how to do X, Y, Z. I will start selling thrift. How can I use social media to track my business? I have a budget of, say, 20,000 per month.
Hello, sir. We can no longer hear you. Mr. Toye, we can no longer hear you. Your mic is muted.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Okay, you are loud and clear now.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I think there was a network issue. That's what happened. So I guess you can see my screen now.
Kindly reshare.
Okay, can I continue? Hello? Hello, Messi,
Yes, you
can
are
you hear
on
me?
and off.
Oh, I'm on and
Yes, I
off.
can hear you. Yes.
Oh, how about now? Is it better now?
It's better now. Yes, yes. You can share
Okay.
your screen.
Can you see my screen now?
There is nothing yet.
Okay, just give me 1 minute, please. Okay, share my screen. Is it better now?
It's up now, yes.
Okay, sorry for that, please. There was issue with the network. I wish I had an AI that can do that for me. So I can just tell it what's wrong with my network and fix it. But eventually we'll come there eventually. So as I was saying, so right now you've told it I want to do X, Y, Z. You've told it right now that okay, I want to start selling thrift online. So it will tell you you have so and so budget. This is how you can maximize that your budget to meet your goals. Sales. How do you engage with your customers that when they come to meet you, they feel comfortable with you? What are the words you must use to engage your customers that your customers feel heard? There's one secret in sales as a small business owner that I learned a long time ago. It was said by a consulting group that for everything you do, there's a 1% market, 1% of the people in the world that would buy from you just because you are you. Because why? You're a unique person. But at the same time, there are other people that think the same way you do, that feel the same way you do. And I feel that those buy because this person thinks like me. So how are you going to use ChatGPT to reach those people through your marketing and your sales? Let's move on to our strategy and innovation. As we said earlier, you can use ChatGPT to scale, to think wide, to think ahead, talk to yourself about hard questions. You can tell it, okay, ChatGPT, I'm starting this business right now, but how do you see me scaling up this business in under 2 to 3 years? And it will give you unbiased view. As a human being, you tend to be emotional. You tend to be protective of your idea. You feel that, is this my idea? I don't want anybody to just attack it. But ChatGPT does not care about your feelings. It will tell you the truth. It will tell you this is how you should do these things. This is the line of your business. This is how it should be done. I like to give examples. I dare say today that if in 2022, the importers of petroleum products into Nigeria, a good number of them had ChatGPT tell them that, ChatGPT, I import petroleum from refineries in Europe to Nigeria. What do you think is the long-term stance of this business? Is this business sustainable? ChatGPT would have told them long time ago that this your business is not sustainable. That Dangote is currently building his own refinery right now. Bua is building, and there's a high chance that any government that comes into office in the future would want to do was strengthen the naira and would block importation. But most of them did not have it, and even if they had it, they didn't pay attention to it. So this we're talking about as small business owners using ChatGPT to see ahead, to think. You can tell it again. I want to be different. There are 1,001 people selling thrift online. After all, every day when you go to that same Abulegba market, where you go and buy there, you see other people that are with you that are dragging clothes with you. And those same people are selling like you too. So you can tell ChatGPT, how can I make my business stand out? What ideas, what tactics can you give me to make me sell my wares in such a way that I stand out from the crowd? So that people know that, Kayode, he sells high-end thrift belts. Kayode, he has this special package that he sells that I don't know how he does it, but at the same time, he makes his profit and I still like his goods. Mercy, she sells high-end wigs. But the beautiful thing is that Mercy does her own in such a way that you can still buy from her, but the price is not too expensive. Mercy has this new idea that she does. That as she buys your wig from you, she gives you a complimentary comb. As she buys the wigs from you, she gives you complimentary oil to massage the wig so the wig doesn't get entangled. And because of that, people come and say, I'll buy from Mercy. Oh, Lawrence makes this wonderful men outfit. But I don't know how Lawrence does it though. After Lawrence sells to you, he puts a complimentary cufflinks in it. All of these ideas that ChatGPT can tell you that, okay, these are ideas, these are tactics that can make you stand away from the crowd. So once people see your brand, people get emotionally invested in your brand and they feel that I like this person's brand. Even though it's a small business, I will support it. This is how you're going to use ChatGPT to start doing those thinking, to make strategic moves, to think ahead, to ask yourself hard questions. Is what I'm doing, is it sustainable? What happens in the next 2 to 3 years? It is very painful for you to have invested so much time into something and let's not discover that in the future it is no more needed. Case in study, people that have been importing petroleum products to this country. With the new law that was signed yesterday, all the tank farms in Apapa, all the tank farms that are on that first gate axis, all of them will become idle in the next 2 to 3 years. Because currently, right now, Dangote supplies 40% of our local consumption. Now that they've added the 15% levy on imported fuel price, it means that all those tank farms where they can keep fuel that they import to sell are going to become idle. So how do you think those owners of those tank farms will feel that what they spent all of their adult lives building will become idle in the future? Why did this happen? Because they failed to think ahead. But that's why we are here. We must learn from the mistakes of others as we start our own small businesses, so we can begin to use ChatGPT to think ahead for us, to think into the future for us and say, I want to do X, Y, Z. What do you think? Is this sustainable in the next 2 to 3 years? So I don't just waste energy and time. I have this small business. What styles, what ideas can you give me to make this business better? What can you give me to make me stand out from the crowd? Let's move on to the next section of application, customer engagement. You see, as a small business owner, as I said earlier, the customers are your lifeblood. Customers determine everything for you because you don't have you don't have the cost to say I want to go and get an influencer. Influencer will charge you. It's not free because you are leaning on his influence, on his personality. Influencer will charge you, will not tell you that come and push my business for me. You pay him. Do you have that kind of money? You that started your trade business 1 million naira. From that 1 million, you might have to pay shop rent. If for that 1 million, you do data. For that 1 million, you buy goods. If for that 1 million, you want to do sponsor that. So if for that 1 million, you're not gonna pay influencer to say, come and carry my shift and sell. You've carried your whole business want to give influencer now. But if you know how to prompt your ChatGPT, if you know how to use it to tell it, I have started my prompt business, my shift business. So how can I engage my customers effectively? How, when customer enters my DM, how do I relate to them that they feel comfortable and they trust me to know that, okay, this will not run away with my money? How am I going to respond to customer's request? When the customer says A, how do I respond to the customer back to tell the customer that, oh, this is what I want to do, and the customer doesn't get offended? Do you understand what I'm saying? Those kind of things you must begin to ask yourself. How do you engage with your customers? You must understand one important thing, as I said earlier again. AI systems are trained on vast amount of data that you and I cannot keep in this brain, because this brain is not for vast amount of data. So how are you going to use these AI tools that have access to this vast amount of data that you do not have access to make your own life and your business better? That's how you must begin to think, begin to ask questions, prod it to give you information that you need that suits your business. How does it better my business? You must understand that the way a person that sells air will talk to a customer is different from the person that sells shoe. It's different from the person that sells food stuff. It's different from the person that sells frozen food. So you must now you must not now say, okay, it's not just to engage customer, and madam, I don't have. Bye bye. That's banal for a small business owner. You go bankrupt in less than a year. But how do you engage your customers that even if you don't have what they want, you have learned, ChatGPT has given you the right information on how to engage with them, that they'll go back and think that, even then that woman did not have the side of the show I wanted. The way she spoke to me, that next time I'll go back there. Even though this girl did not have this Peruvian wig I wanted, the way she spoke to me, that she engaged me, that made me feel seen. So that next time, even if I cannot get Peruvian wig from her, I can refer her to somebody else and say, girl, this girl I saw, I asked her for Peruvian, I didn't have, but it said she had Venezuelan, which you can go and buy from her. Do you know what you have done? You've turned a customer that didn't even buy from you to giving you free influencing, to giving you free adverts. Why? Because you've learned from ChatGPT how to engage your customer. Bear this in mind. One more thing is operations. As a small business owner, operations is hectic. Because as I said earlier, most of us, or most small business owners already have a 9 to 5. They are just, because they have entrepreneurial spirit, they say, okay, let me open my own business on the side. How do you manage inflows? How do you manage outflows? How do you manage your inventory? At what point do you do your stock count? At what point of the month do you know where you stand financially? How do you know, okay, at a go, where do I stand? How much is the cash in hand? How much is cash in bank? How much is inventory? Where do we stand operation as a business? That's where AI comes into play. AI is beautiful for operations as a small business. You open your ChatGPT, you have your bank account, you have your chart. You tell it, we started this month with so and so stock. You have been beautiful enough already to have an Excel sheet where you keep it. The beautiful thing is this: even if your information is unstructured, let's say you just open the notepad on your phone and you write it there, on so and so day. On so and so day, I bought 200,000 worth of goods. This is the breakdown. I bought bags, 50,000, shoe, 20,000, belts, 30,000, slippers, 40,000, and you list it there and you keep it. As people buy from you, you go back to that your notepad, you write it there. Mrs. So and so bought shoe, 15,000. Mr. So and so bought bag, so and so amount, and you just list it there. And you pick one day of the end of the month and you say, okay, on the 25th day of the month, that is the day I must do my account. For me, as the CEO of Tunji Thrift Wears, or let us even use Lawrence as the CEO of Lawrence Wears. The 25th is the day of the month I do my reports. You take all that information and take ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, this is the information for the month. Give me analysis based on this. Let us create operations based on this. It takes the information, it tells you, okay, we've discovered that our fastest selling item is XYZ, is your bag. That means for our next month, we must buy bags in excess. So that in the middle of the month, we are not stuck with no inventory. It tells you, I notice that from your sales pattern, you do not sell as much as this thing. And we don't sell so much belts, and we have lots of belts on the ground. So it means for next month, you're not going to buy belts. So by the time you give all that information, it will tell you that, okay, based on the analysis of the information you gave to me of what you sold, we are going to buy this for next month. For next month, we buy 10 more bags. For next month, we buy less belts. For next month, you can do so and so based on the information you give it. This is information that if you try to do on your own, it will be hectic because you're a human being. As an adult, you have responsibilities. So these are the things that you can use AI to do. Last but not the least, finance and planning. You see, this is another beautiful thing as a small business owner. So you tell your I have started with 1 million naira. How can we allocate this 1 million naira for the optimal advantage so that money value is provided for money? How do we make this money? How do I run this business with this 1 million naira that I don't go into loss? But at the same time, my business remains float, and at most in 6 months' time, I begin to declare profits. Even if they don't make a profit, at least some form of profit. That's how it comes into play. So one of the biggest information, the biggest things we must take away from this class today is that data is life. As a small business owner, if you are not comfortable using Excel, open a notepad and write everything there. I started my business with 100,000. Write it there. On so and so date, I did this. Write it there. I bought this. I sold this. I did this. Write the information there because the information that ChatGPT and AI will use to give you much more tailored information. And the more you give it information, the more it begins to have much more knowledge about you. First month, you give information. Second month, you give it. Third month, you give it. By the time you for 6 months, it has historical data about you. The beautiful thing is that AI does not forget. You would have forgotten that 6 months ago, you were selling that our bags were the fastest selling items we had. But I've forgotten. But AI will not forget. It will remember that 6 months ago, when we started this business, it was bags that were selling. But now, bags are not selling so much again. Now it's belts. Now, belts that stopped selling after 2 months. Now it's what? It's slippers. These are going to use it to make our business grow, to scale, and to go to the next level. Does anybody have any questions before I continue? Can you hear me? Messi, are you there?
Yes, I
Hello?
can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions before I continue? Any feedback? Any contributions? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Let's proceed. So, as I was saying, this where let's not be deep dive into it, but I don't take too much of our time. So, marketing and sales mastery. How do you write captions for your post on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook? How do you write captions that are engaging to people? How do you write email marketing ads? How do you write sales messages? You're a human being. You probably don't have experience in all these things, but ChatGPT has experience. Lean on it. Storytelling is very important for a brand because human beings think in stories. You want to sell me a car, and you're telling me the car has it goes from 0 to 100 in 6 seconds. That's a story. In the technical terms, it's a whole different ball game because he talked about the speed. He talked about the revolutions per second of the engine. Who wants to hear about that? When Dangote was trying to sell his petroleum to everybody, all of us saw him bring his fuel to the press conference and show us that this is my fuel. See how clear it is. That was a clear story. But if Dangote has come to say the based on the ppm, the sulfur level of our fuel, our sulfur level is 1,000 square meters. Based on that, our fuel is cleaner. Does the driver on the road care that your sulfur content of your petroleum is 1 per square meter? He doesn't care. But the fact that he saw it straight up, your fuel is clearer than what I've seen, not I've sealed them. For content strategy, yes, you're on social media. Any small business is on social media. How do you write a content calendar to remain relevant? ChatGPT can do that for you. You can see the example. Write 3 Instagram prompts, captions promoting my cold room service in Ife Ogun State. Focus on what? Affordability and reliability. You, Lawrence, now decided that, oh, I have these boys that can sew. I have these people that can sell to. So how do I sell my products out to people? Write me a content calendar for this month on how to what? Push my business online to get customers. Focus on what? Affordability and reliability. Let people relate to your business and say, okay, that guy you gives you good designs at a good rate and it's reliable. Next thing is what? Customer engagement tools. How do you engage with your customers? For your business, what are the expected questions from your customers and how can you relate with them? These are things we're talking about. Use AI to do this thinking. Use AI to think ahead, think into the future, to preempt your customers so you know what to expect from them. So if anybody comes to you with this question, you know how to reply. If anybody comes to you with that question, you know how to reply. So customers come to you with this feeling that you are well grounded, you know your business. That even if they didn't get what they wanted from you, you knew how to reply them in such a way they know that this person knows what he's doing. Maybe next time I can come to you. That is what they call customer engagement. WhatsApp flows. How do you flow your WhatsApp? How do you reply them? If they say A, you say B. If they say B, you say D. If they say D, you say E. Okay, the person that comes and says, I'm not going to say D or F. The person goes and says Z. How do you reply him back? So you don't look inept. Because you're a small business owner, you don't have the years of reputation to rely on. You have built a reputation from now. I'm going to use AI to do what? To build it. Complaint resolution. The customer came and said, I want Peruvian. You told the customer, if my Peruvian does not tangle, my Peruvian is a good condition. My Peruvian is this problem, my Peruvian is that. But as this person was carrying it, this person had an accident. Market poured on the ground. Everything was scattered. How would you now relate to the customer and make the customer feel that, oh, madam, I'm sorry about what happened. I take responsibility. I do this, I do that. We can do this way. Even if the customer was very pissed off with you, was very angry with you, understand how to use ChatGPT to reply to those questions that the customer has with empathy, in a professional tone. We make the customer know that, oh, this person knows what he's doing. It makes person come back to you. It's not that they say, madam, my rider has not delivered to you. So what's happening? And they say, madam, don't stress me now. I'm not the first rider. I'm not that's riding the bike. Why would you do that? You're a small business owner. You should know better than that. Learn how to use ChatGPT to answer those questions. So when the customer is preposterous, he's angry, he's emotional, you must give him empathetic professional responses. But the problem is this: you are new in the game. You just started this business. You too, you have a lot going on in your mind. So you can be tempted to give fire for fire. Hey, what's this going? Calm down. Tell ChatGPT, this customer is asking me this question. How do I give me a particular professional response that will suit the customer? Let the customer know that I care about the customer. That way, the customer goes away thinking, feeling that, even though there's a problem, this person solved it for me. Operation and productivity. What are the SOPs? As I said earlier, document processes in minutes, not days. You must write things down. Write things down. I did this, write it, and give it to ChatGPT. These are the operations I've done. These are my plans. Are they okay? Are they good? How can I get it better? Business documents. Good. Tell it, craft me a proposal. I want to do, okay, you say, you discover that, oh, I'm a makeup artist. There's this new event center beside me. And I've been noticing them that every Saturday at least, they're always doing events there. Why can't I write a proposal to the management of this event company and tell them that, let's partner, let me be your on ground makeup artist, so that if people come for your events, you can also sell it to them that, oh, if you have event, we have makeup artists on standby there. You're a human being. You're not so comfortable with things like this. Tell ChatGPT, he will write it for you and just submit it there. It will even tell you, it will coach you on how to engage in those meetings. So when it's time for those interviews and those meetings with the company, you know how to craft your responses. Task automation, that's even the next level. How do you connect ChatGPT with tools like Zapier, Norton, and other productivity apps that begins to automate your business in the background? AI is beautiful. I can tell you for free today, AI is beautiful. If you know how to use it, you realize that it's as if you're having your own personal nuclear weapon. It's as if you have your own nuclear weapon in your own phone and on your laptop that can do anything you want it to do. Let's move on to the next stage, and that is what? Finance and planning. As I said earlier, budgeting. How do you budget? I have 1 million there. How do I budget this money to ensure that I do what I get value for money? Goals translation. Okay, it tells you right now we are in Q1. What are we going to do in Q1? What are we going to do in Q2? Financial summaries. As I said earlier, data. I bought this month. These are the goods I have left. I sold this. I have this. I did this. Take the information and give it to it. It will give you well written information about your business that even yourself won't have noticed. And then based on that information, you can make better decisions for your business. Last but not the least, strategy and innovations. Brainstorm. Use ChatGPT to think. Think. Stop. Your brain is not equipped to think deeply as a human being. Because it is hard as an adult, as you are thinking. If you're not a married person, your wife is calling you, honey, the generator is not on, honey, there's no fuel in the gen. As you are there, your child is calling you, my daddy. How can you think deeply? But with ChatGPT, you can outsource that thinking to it and tell it, think deeply. I have this business. What other revenue streams can we generate to make more money for this business? Market analysis. You're not the only person in that business. You are not the only person that has that idea in your head. So you must use ChatGPT to analyze your competition. What is my SWOT analysis? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my opportunities and threats for this business? What are my competition doing? Research the internet. What are my competition doing that I can do better? What are my competition doing that I'm not doing? What am I doing that my competition doing?
I think we've lost him again. Please be patient while we get him back on the call. Thank you so much. Right, please be patient. He's joining us soon. Please be patient. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Please, can you hear me? I'm sorry, my laptop had issues, so I had to go offline. So I have to join on my phone right now.
All right, well,
Messi, please, could you please share the slide so we can continue? I want us to quickly round up. It's been an hour already.
Okay, a moment, please. A moment, please. I'm trying to get the material to be up shortly.
Okay.
I'm sorry, please be patient. You'll soon get the material now. The
No problem.
network
No
is
problem.
glitching.
No problem.
Can you see my screen?
Oh, yes, we can see your screen now, loud and clear.
Okay. Please let me know where you were. Here?
Please proceed. Stop. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Go back. Okay, yes, thank you. So I think we stopped at the market analysis, conducting SWOT reports and competitive research. What are your competition doing? You're not the only one in that business. What are they doing? And how can you do better? I'm not saying you go and copy and paste, But you understand, as a small business owner, you are 1 out of 1,000. So how do you craft your business? How do you see what your competition is doing, what they're not doing so well? What are the pain points? Let me explain what it is today. AI is beautiful. AI is as if you have, as I keep saying, you have a nuclear weapon in your pocket. Do you know that if you're trying to do your market research, apart from you have done market research with ChatGPT, you've told it to search the internet to tell you your SWOT analysis of your business. Do you know that if you go again on Grok, that is trained on everything on Twitter, and you tell it, I run a small business that sells thrift, search Twitter for me and tell me the pain point of thrift customers from Twitter. You realize that if you go on Twitter and do all that search for you and give you the information for free, this was information that as far back as 5 years ago, you had to pay consultants to get that work for you. And once it gets the information and it tells you the pain points of the customers have so and so pain points, you can now begin to craft your own business to solve all these pain points. So that when people come to buy from you, you're not just selling to them, you are solving a need. You are meeting them at the place of their need. And they feel that, oh, this person, this business is a wonderful business. And they begin to blow your trumpet to other people and say, oh, this business, oh, I bought from out. They begin to do free advert for you. This is the beauty and the power of using AI and using things like ChatGPT. So I implore you today to tap into this. Strategic planning. How do you expand your business? As I said, how do you want to go to the next level? I want to build my business to the next level. How do I do this? You're not just making plans open-ended, making heads in the cloud plans. You start your business with 1 million naira in 2025, and you're saying that in 2 years' time, my business shall grow to 10 million. You want to fly there? How are you going to get there? How are you going to scale your business sensibly and realistically, that you know that as you are growing, there's no fear that you collapse under the weight of your own success? And how can you do this? Use ChatGPT. These are what I talk about, how to prompt the system, give you what you want. Next slide, please. I'm trying to round up now, so I won't take so much of our time. Advanced techniques. How do you do these things? We call multi-prompt workflows. You can see it now. Chain prompt for what? For deeper results. For deeper results. Research this problem for me. Give me the first draft. When it gives the first draft, they tend to review it. No, the beautiful thing about ChatGPT is that you can tell it to correct itself. Okay, it gives you the first result to say this is the proposal I have for you to go and tell to this event company, and then it gives you that proposal, and then you tell that you take that proposal it gave to you and you give it back to and say, check this proposal for me and tell me the loopholes there and tell me the blind spots there on how to counter it. You see what you have done? You've become a maker and checker. You've made the first proposal and use the same ChatGPT that gave the first proposal to fact check it again. He gave you some figures, you're not sure of it. Tell it, fact check this information for me. Check the internet, fact check it. Is this correct? So you don't go and carry false information and keep out there, because you can make mistakes sometimes, you can hallucinate. So you fact check it, you review it, and then you push it out, you deploy it. On that same ChatGPT, we have custom GPT that are free, that have even done the bulk of the work for you. Just go and tell it, this is what I want you to do, and it just does it. There are operations assistants on ChatGPT that are custom made for you. Tools integration. You can connect your ChatGPT to Excel, to your email, to your Canva, and it gives you better information, much more robust and rounded information that I can work with. Next slide, please. So we're talking about your AI business stack. I want all of us to begin to understand today, right now, that if you're going to be I like to be honest with people. I like to tell people the truth. AI is going to make so many jobs go away, but the beautiful thing is that as much as jobs will go away, businesses will remain. And it's imperative that you need to understand and think about yourself as a business owner and how to use AI to build your business. So talk about the AI business stack. The first stack is ChatGPT. It does the thinking for you. It thinks, it brainstorms, it goes ahead, it plans, and you implement. Use Canva to make your designs. Okay, now, ChatGPT, I'm thinking of doing sponsored ads. I'm thinking of doing flyer and banners for my brand. I cannot afford to go and pay a graphic designer because that money for graphic designer, I can use that money to do sponsored ads. The least a graphic designer will charge you most of the time right now is 20K. That 20K can do sponsored ads for you on TikTok. Write me a prompt to take to Canva to create a design for me. Write me a prompt to create a logo for my business. If you create it with Canva. Now use Notion. Notion is for what? For thinking. You use for brainstorming, for automating your tasks. Use ChatGPT to set up your Notion so that at every point in time, you know where your business lies. You have a page for operations, you know what you're expecting. You have a page for finances, you know what you're expecting. You have a page for centralization, you know what you're expecting. And last but not the least, Zapier to automate these things. How can you automate your posting on social media? How can you automate what you want to do on social media? How can you automate your responses? You have to use things like Zapier. So what are we talking about? By the time you put all these things together, you have an AI team that can run on your laptop from anywhere in the world. Now all you need is just your laptop and your internet connection, and you're good to go. And you now begin to realize that even as a small business owner, you are beginning to fight in leagues that before that were unopen to you as just you as a single entity. Next slide, please. So we have a couple of success stories here, people that have worked. We have a fashion brand who used ChatGPT to create a content for the next 3 months. And because she was consistent, she was consistently churning out information. You know, the beauty of ChatGPT is the fact that it deals with the data you give it. It deals with what? The data that you give it. So we had this person that did what? She planned ahead. She told ChatGPT, I run a small business brand. How can you craft me content for the next 3 months so I get more engagement? So people see my post more. People like my post more. People make requests. Food entrepreneur. She used ChatGPT to do what? To do a menu pricing. So through ChatGPT, I sell XYZ. I intend to make 10% markup. This is what the market is. How can I make this pricing that don't go at a loss? You should do that, to do all that work for you without stressing you. A farm owner used it to design record keeping and feeding schedules for the animals, so that you don't spend too much money on what you should not spend on. What is the essence of if the fish will eat one bag of feed, you now can buy two, and you have wasted money? ChatGPT will tell you, oh, based on the research I have done, at this level, the fish needs one bag of 9 mm. Don't buy two bags because you waste it. As a human being, as a first timer in that business, you might not have that kind of knowledge. You might waste so much money, and it might make that business so uncomfortable for you to do next time. These are success stories that you yourself you can try to leverage upon and do for yourself too. Next slide, please. So, last but not the least, see AI as a partner, not a threat. You must be AI literate. ChatGPT is free. It's open to everybody. Download it today and begin to ask it questions. Try it out. You have nothing to lose. Easy adoption. It is open everywhere. There's ChatGPT, there's Gemini, there's Claude, there's Manus. It is everywhere. So you pick the one that suits you and you transform it and you use it. Last but not the least, business words, transformation. Use it to scale your business and to grow sustainably. So you know that you're always in the game. Next slide, please. I think you can all see it. If you learn to command AI, you'll never be out of business again. Because as I keep saying, AI is like having a personal nuclear weapon. You're not going to be like Donald Trump of your life. You have your nuclear weapons on standby, willing to attack and do the things you wanted to do, suited for you. I think we can go to the next slide right now. So, as I said earlier, my name is Tonya. I'm from Transcend Nigeria. You can reach out to me on the LinkedIn, Tonya Al. We have a WhatsApp group where we drop information for people who want to learn how to use AI to build up their businesses and build up their life and become much more productive. As I said earlier, I'm an AI evangelist. I believe strongly in the power of AI, and I believe that just like Sam Altman said, we seek to democratize AI for everybody. There should be no gatekeeping. Everybody should know how to use AI to benefit themselves and push their lives ahead. Next slide, please. Nigeria doesn't lack talent. It lacks transformation and AI is how we build that gap. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much. There are any questions? I'll take questions now. Any feedback and contributions?
All right,
Good afternoon.
everyone, we are in our Q&A session. Please feel free to ask your question as regarding the topic of today.
Good afternoon, sir. And thanks very much for the beautiful presentation. I want to ask, apart from ChatGPT that you have talked about, which other AI can be of immense benefit to one if you decide to use any other AI app apart from ChatGPT? Thank you very much.
Okay, so apart from ChatGPT, we have tools like Manus. Manus is the first prototype of AGI, what we call artificial general intelligence. Manus is beautiful. With Manus, you can assign tasks to AI and it gets them done for you. There's Gemini. In the past 6 weeks, when the AI war started between ChatGPT and Google, within OpenAI and Google was lagging behind. But right now, in the past 6 weeks, ChatGPT, Google has dropped out Gemini, and Gemini has beautiful skills. Like if you try out Nano Banana as a small business owner, you have your products. You cannot take your products to the studio to take pictures of. You just take pictures of them, post it to Nano Banana, and tell you to make it look better. It is mind blowing. Yeah, we have Manus, we have Claude. Even though Claude is not available for us in Nigeria, but if you have VPN, you can change it. There's even Meta from Facebook that can use to do post for social media. There are a whole lot of them out there. So it's just up to you to just to look for what suits you and then look for it. Any question? Any other question, please?
Thanks, sir.
Any other questions?
Any other question, please? We have already come to the end of today's class, so please feel free to ask your question.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, could you please help us share the link to these AI platforms that you mentioned?
Okay, that's no problem. I would avail the organizers the links to the AI tools.
All right, thank you.
Hello,
Any
sir.
other
Good
question?
afternoon, sir. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes. I just want to confirm this your material. Is it going to be made available for us perusers around?
Oh,
As
that's
usual, it will be
that's
shared as usual. Yes, if you're on the WhatsApp platform, you will definitely get it as usual.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, I think we do not have any other question as regarding the class. Please, a round of applause to Mr. Tonye. Thank you so much, Mr. Tonye, for joining us today. And I would say I really enjoyed today's class. Yes, I really, really enjoyed today's class. And I believe that we are going to put these to practice as well. We will not just get it for knowledge sake. We are going to put it into our daily lives, our businesses. And I believe that with this, we are going to make a lot of profit and then a lot of visibility to our businesses.
Is
All
it like
right. Thank you so much, Mr. Tony.
I don't know.
And
It was
every
just here
one
now.
of you, oh, is there? And to everyone who was on the call, I say a very big thank you to you all. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, this class holds every last Friday of the month, and we are gradually coming to the end of this class or of this program. All right, please look out in your various groups. Information will be posted as regarding your assessment and whatever information we have to share regarding the AI Business Analyst program. So please, that is that. There is a feedback form in the chat room. Please, we need you to fill it up. Once you are done doing that, you can type in the chat room done. Please, let's do that now. We are already done with today's class so that you can go back to your various engagements. Kindly fill up the feedback form. Thank you. We'll have just 1 minute for that. Please let me see your reactions in the chat room once you are done filling up the feedback form. Thank you so much, Mr. Kayode. Every other persons, please, we implore that you fill it up. This will help us to improve in our service delivery and in our lecture delivery in order to save you better. All right. Thank you once again. And the material and the recording of today's class is going to be shared. The material is going to be shared immediately after the class. So feel free to read it up, and then every other information, you get it on the group. Please follow us on all of our social media handles. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Most of you are students of Transformation College, but you are not following us. Please, we implore that you follow us on all of our social media handles: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and mention and talk about Transformation College. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And from here, I will say, have a very beautiful and enjoyable weekend. We will see you in the next class. Bye. Thank you, everyone, for filling up the feedback forms, and have a nice day.